You're watching Through the Looking Glass with Dr. Jenny Klein.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Klein, and I've missed you, so I'm back with a new show for us all. It's about our feelings, fears, and fantasies, our pain and our pleasure, our problems and our solutions. It's a time for us to get together and talk things over. Think things over and find out that we are not alone. Perhaps then we could all help each other make this world and our lives just a little bit better. Did you ever have something you have to do and you just resist it like forever? You don't even begin it? Let's take a deeper look at just that issue. Paul, how are you?
Good, Dr. Klein. How are you?
Yeah, you sounded so distressed on the phone. What's going on?
My wife's distressed. It's not me. I don't have a problem.
Why didn't she call me?
I told her to call you. I said, you're the one who's got the problem. She says, no, you got the problem.
What does she think your problem is?
She doesn't like all my files on the table.
Which table?
On the kitchen table.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's where we're supposed to eat.
That's where you're supposed to eat. So part of you knows it's wrong.
Yeah, I know it's wrong, but it'll get done when it gets done.
How long have they been there?
They've been there a while.
Like a few years?
A long time.
Oh.
But, and she keeps harping on it.
Yeah, but do you want to clean them up inside you?
There are a number of times I want to.
But?
Something goes, I don't know what it is. I just can't get motivated to do it.
Do what?
Put the files away.
All of them instantly?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll never do that.
That's how I took my test when I was in school. I waited to the last minute.
And then you studied everything?
Tried.
And how'd you do on the test?
I could have done better.
But you have something that says I have to do it all at once or it doesn't count.
Right. What's wrong with that?
Because it's kind of like 100% or nothing, and then you wind up doing nothing.
Wait a minute. 100% or nothing.
Yeah,
you have a good point. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all at once. And she comes in harp. She goes, look, you can do it one day at a time.
No, any slowpoke can do that.
No, right.
You're a genius. You should be able to do it 100% or nothing.
That's what I told her. I said, look, when I want to get down and I want to do it, I'll do it.
You have a terrific imagination. Do you ever write stories?
Write stories all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
About 100% or nothing?
Well,
You should
sort
write
of.
one about yourself.
There's nothing wrong with me.
0.
Yeah.
Wrong with you.
Correct.
Okay, either hero or 0. That's 100% or nothing.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with me.
Your wife doesn't think so.
No. I don't know what her... See, she's the one who has the problem. She should be here.
No, you were laughing when you say, 'cause we eat on the table.
Yeah, we don't eat on the table.
And why are you laughing? Because your papers are where they shouldn't be.
Yes.
Okay, so that it's not that there's something wrong with you and therefore you're not perfect, so you're a big 0. That's not true. There is something stopping you from doing something if you can't do it all at once, like studying for exams. And if you can't do 100% all at once, then you do nothing.
Right.
How many other things does that cause a problem with you?
I don't want to use the word problem, but I do run into issues with it.
Like where?
At work.
Oh.
I'll wait. I'll have a project, and I tell them, don't worry about it. It'll get done. It'll get done. And everybody thinks they're going to push me with deadlines and things like that. I'll get it done when I get it done. Maybe not perfectly, but it gets done.
Well,
sort of gets
you have to do it all at once, or you're not going to do a little bit every day.
Yeah, I can knock it out. Doesn't make sense to do a little bit at it. For me, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I don't
because then-
operate that way.
Because if you do a little bit, it's less than everything. So you're less than everything.
Why am I less than everything?
Because you only do a little bit.
Well, I don't feel complete. If I only do a little bit, I don't feel complete. I want to feel complete. If I'm going to do the job, I'm going to do it right.
Except for the fact that you wind up doing nothing, like the papers on the table, for years. Either it's your hero, you do it all, or you do nothing. And if you just do a little at a time,
Well, I feel like I didn't
that's
accomplish anything.
no, you didn't accomplish 100% immediately. And therefore, you're a zero. If it ain't a hero, you're a zero.
I don't
all
feel,
or
you're
nothing.
right. I don't feel good. That's why I don't want to do it at piecemeal. I want to do it
100% or nothing.
right. Wait till the pile's big enough. Then I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I tell people I pile. I don't file. And when the pile's high enough, I'll get to it.
But you don't.
In my head, I do.
That leaves the papers where you eat. If you do it in your head, that's imaginary.
That's what she said.
Look, imaginary 100% is what we wish up when we're 3 or 4 and say, look, Daddy, I can fly. And he can't. Imagination is wonderful. That's why you write stories. But you can imagine everything's done. And then reality is so much less than that. And you think you're a failure. If you compare imaginary cleanup, it's done 100%, to reality, which it isn't just all done or at once. Reality is a failure next to imagination in terms of your ability to get things done.
You have a point. I mean, it's just like,
Where'd you get this from? What did your mother and father tell you when you were a kid?
Well, I come from a Latino family, and my mom was crazy about cleaning and putting things away and stuff like that. And you know what's funny now that I think about this? Mm-hmm. She harped, just like my wife, because you know what she would do?
What?
She would dump a lot on my sister, okay? But the 3 boys, she basically would come and yell at us, but at the same time she's yelling at us, cleaning it up. So we just had to go through the spiel.
So your wife yells at you, and then she winds up cleaning up.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything. Because
Yeah.
you're a boy.
Well,
Girls had to do it.
yeah. I don't even want to admit to that. That's messed up.
Why?
Because
Why is it messed up?
Because because I tell her I do my part, and the way you're saying it sounds like I don't do my part.
Well, your mother made the girls do their part, but didn't make the boys do it, just yelled at them and then cleaned up them herself. Isn't that what you're telling me?
Yeah, but you know what she should have done is basically tell us to do it and make us do it, but she was yelling and picking up at the same time, and we watched. It was like a show.
Oh. So she wanted to dump on you while she didn't want you to have to do it because you're the guys.
Yeah.
And it's cleaning up as a woman's job.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you got all screwed up on this, right? Because you figured, I can imagine doing it because Mom is yelling at me, but I don't really have to do it because she did it for you.
Yeah, now that you say it that way, it's sort of what they call stinking thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, in one way, it works out for me.
Another way it doesn't.
Right.
Now your wife is yelling at you.
Yeah, same thing. Same play. I'm playing it all over again. I told her, I said, you're just like my mom. And she goes, if I were your mom, you wouldn't be this way today. I said, whoa.
What happens if your wife moves the piles of papers off the table?
I'm not a happy camper. No.
You would say, no, it's my way or the highway. In other words, you can't move them. I won't move them because I can't do it 100%, so I'm not going to do anything. And it comes from your mother screaming at you and then cleaning it up yourself, which is a contradiction. Do it, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part. But I'm not going to admit to that. I'm not going to tell her that.
Did.
I'm telling you. I'm not going to tell her.
Well, you're admitting it to yourself.
Yeah, but I'm not going to listen.
You just did.
I'm not listening. I don't care.
Why are you laughing?
Because
Who's trapped in this thing from your mother still controlling you?
somebody is, because I don't even want to think about
You're still carrying on the same thing. You continue.
That's what she says.
Mother, your wife, the mother of your children. I assume you have children by this time. That your mother, your wife, is yelling at you, and you don't have to do anything.
You know what's strange? Little guys like that too.
Oh, well, 20 years from now, he's going to come and your daughter-in-law is going to say, you know what? You didn't raise your son right. He's just like you.
He doesn't pick up his toys. He doesn't. But his mom yells at him and puts everything away in the toy box.
She does just what your mother did.
Yeah. And part of me
And you're waiting for her to clean off the papers. But God forbid she
I don't want her to touch it because I have it in a certain way.
Now,
Well, in my head.
so who's really controlling your life, you or your mother? You're continuing a pattern that your mother taught you.
But I didn't plant the seed.
You're not your own man.
Wow.
That's why you can't clean up your damn papers.
That's deep. I don't know about that.
Your mother still controls you. How do you like that, buddy?
I don't like it. But
Well, your mother's still controlling you. So you think you're standing.
she's
at
gone.
the
My mom
fort.
passed away.
It's not in your mind. She didn't. She's still ruling your behavior. How do you like that?
Well, my wife says. I don't even want to hear it. She says, whether your mom's here or not, you're still
free.
acting like Wicca.
You're not free. Did you
Free
think
from what?
You're not free to do what you would like to be able to do, but your mother didn't let you do it. Because she had to clean up and yell at you and then blame you for it.
Yeah, but I don't know why I'm letting it to continue. I mean, there's part of me that really wants to clean up that pile.
What's that part? Your independent self that says, I have my own power. Just shut up, Mom, and stop picking up my stuff, and I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to feel good about it.
But I didn't have to, because she did it all the time.
Yeah, but there's a part of you that wants the freedom to be able to be in charge. Because you've been doing this at work and everything. Don't anybody tell me what to do. I'll do it all at one time. It says, you know what? That's not, do a little at a time is not a failure.
It feels like it, though.
Yeah, if you don't do 100%, you're nothing.
Yeah. Seriously, it feels like it. I mean, if I'm not, I'm either in or out.
You either do it instantly
Right.
or it's nothing. If you do a little bit, that's a failure. You're either 100% hero or a zero.
You keep using this hero zero. It's starting to make sense. It's like,
Yeah,
me,
it's an
like
imaginary
I either have
self.
to do it all,
Or do nothing.
nothing. All or
Well,
nothing, I understand.
that's what you're paralyzed. That's a lousy formula. I've done it myself, I can tell you. You either
You
do
did
it
it.
all or you do nothing. Oh, yeah. Particularly with files.
Wow.
But I'm learning, after many, many years of helping everyone else, I'm spotting it in myself, that particular thing, and say, you know what? 20 minutes a day, I'll scan some papers, and I'll do some things, and the pile will get less.
And you're okay with that?
Well, the other thing isn't working,
That's a good point.
because it never gets done.
Right, it never gets...
So I'm not a failure if I do a half an hour, because if I do nothing, I make no progress at all. And if I'm not a hero, then I'm a zero. Lousy formula. That's not the way anything gets done. That's all imaginary horseshit. Pardon the language.
I know what you're saying makes sense.
I know.
But there's some inside me that just doesn't let me do
Well,
it.
maybe you thought you were a privileged character because all you had to take is your mother's anger, now your wife's anger, and you didn't have to do anything because mother had a contradictory message. Do it, and then I do it for you.
I think that's why I married her, now that I think about it. Because
Yeah,
when we
but
were dating, she would... she would do things like this, and I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, I said, you never complained before. And she'd go, if I only knew how big the problem was, I would have complained.
That's right. She figured, oh, I'll let it go. But she didn't realize it had roots in your mother's behavior toward you.
Right.
And you're pretty smart to know that.
Yeah.
Now
'cause-
you have to be smart enough to say, hey, 20 minutes a day is reality of diminishing something.
Yeah, but if I'm doing it by myself, it's not...
Oh,
I need somebody
you're not a
else.
privileged character anymore. You shouldn't have to do anything for
I
yourself.
need somebody to...
Just let somebody beat you up and get angry every day, and then Mommy will do it for you. It's okay. Mommy's not even here anymore. But she's sure in your head. Ruling your life from the grave.
That's scary. But you know what? There's truth to that. You know, and I don't even want to think in those terms.
But you paid a terrible price for Mother doing it for you because she was angry with you.
Yeah, I could have been more successful, too, if I would have learned that when I think about it.
Yeah, because it travels over to projects at work.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do. I'll get it done. I don't have to work on a steady pace. And people say, where's your progress report? I said, no, it's at the end.
And that's where they hit me in my performance evaluation. He procrastinates.
All from your mother's style. And you're getting everybody mad at you.
Yeah,
That's like
teachers would get mad at me. My wife gets mad at me. Coworkers get mad at me.
And you get mad at you if you don't get away with it. Because you'd have to do it yourself. But see how proud you'd be. That I'm doing things and these piles are getting done a little at a time, and that's not a failure.
That's really weird because that is a foreign feeling. I mean,
Yeah, because you think it's a hero zero game. Either I'm 100%, I don't have to do nothing, I have to do it all at one time, and then it's costing you a lot. Try doing something in real terms. That's doable.
maybe I'll take maybe, I said.
Take a pile this big and say, okay, this is not a failure. This is something real gets done. It's not just in your imagination waiting for your wife to clean up.
You know, it's funny, I go by the adage, people do the work you inspect, not expect, and I live it differently.
People do the work.
You inspect, not expect. So at work, when I check up on people, they know they're going to do it. But if I just say, you know, I'll check up on you, never check,
Right.
doesn't get done.
Well, your mother didn't give you a real job to do. She just yelled at you, and then she did it so she could yell at you some more.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
you
what her
thought you
job
were
was,
the
to
winner.
yell.
That was not winning anything. You never learned to get things done.
In the long run, you're right.
It hurt you.
It hurt me.
Stop hurting yourself.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm still continuing a pattern.
Well,
It's
that's
crazy.
why we're talking.
Yeah, maybe my wife had some, well, I'm not going to admit to that she had a point.
What do you mean?
That she may be right. And that's why I'm here.
Oh, well, sometimes you're right, sometimes she's right.
I don't like to be wrong.
Yeah, but you're seeing how it's costing you at work.
Yeah. Now that we're talking about it, now that I'm thinking about it.
And your mother did you a disservice. She should have said, listen, you don't clean your bed up. You know, you can't go to the movies. That's it. Cost.
And that's true. She would make threats but never follow through.
Right, there was no cost.
Right, there
So
was no cost.
you were dealing with an imaginary, magical world in which mother would scream. You'd get screamed at, but she'd do it. There'd be no cost to it. Well,
No
you
cost.
are paying costs at work.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I mean, I'm saying there were no costs, but yeah, in the long run, I'm paying some major costs.
And you're thinking you had magical powers because all you had to do is listen to the screaming and Mommy would clean it up.
That's the formula. It's the way it works.
But it doesn't help you grow into reality.
You're right. In fantasy it works, but not in reality.
But fantasy is just fantasy. That's why you write stories.
Yeah.
What are some of the stories you write?
I write this one story about this one guy who... do you remember? There was a guy called Walter Mitty. That's funny, because one of my favorite stories was Walter Mitty.
The dreamer.
Yeah, basically, because his wife would be harping on him, so he was this, this pilot fighting in war, with this vehicle. So he just went off into space and did his own thing while she's like, back, 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 back.
That's your story. That's your mother. That's your wife.
I know, because I couldn't understand. Danny Kaye played it, in the movie, and I said...
And it confirms your whole way of being.
Yeah.
See that?
But I wrote stories like that with different people, but it was the same theme. Where people were from the outside, pop up, and this other person was like...
I'm getting away with it all.
I'm floating above it all.
Yeah, in fantasy world.
Yeah.
That's what you're living in with your papers.
Well, I would like to eat on my table.
You can change the formula your mother breathed into your brain.
I just don't think it's that easy.
It's hard to give up fantasy, but it's great to see real progress.
I'm taking it as a challenge.
Your fantasy isn't a success and a power. It's a deficit. It costs you a lot. 1, you don't get things done. 2, it costs you at work. And 3, it costs your wife being pissed at you.
Yeah, tension every day. I'll tell you, that piles... And,
Your mother did you no favor. Do you have kids? You have kids?
2.
Well, tell me, do you do the same thing to them? Yell at them and then...
She yells at them. I don't have to yell.
Okay, but do you expect your kids to be responsible?
Yeah, but I give them a look.
Do they do it then?
The little guy, he's not too good with it.
Do you want your kids to be stuck with the same problem because you never got through your Walter Mitty imaginary things?
No, I don't.
You want them to live in a fantasy world?
No, I don't want them to live in a fantasy world.
Well,
I just want them to be responsible.
You tell them, I've been living in a fantasy world thinking that if I don't do it all at once, I don't have to do it at all. And other people get mad, but I don't care. That's not going to get you through life, son.
You're right. I'm not a good role model. I mean, I have to admit
to
that.
You have to fight that fantasy within yourself and take one bunch of papers and say, that's not a failure, that's a success. And do it one handful at a time.
I gotta remember that. It's not a failure, that's a success.
That's right.
I gotta keep that in my mind because it's like, I don't know why, it's just like...
Well, you know why. Because it was a fictional thing your mother was doing. Screaming at you and doing it yourself taught the boy nothing.
It was every day. My brothers are like that too.
Well, it says, if I take the screaming, I can do nothing, and she'll do it for me. And this is not the way the world works. You see it at work, and you get in trouble for it.
Yeah. It's like... But it's weird. It's like at one level I know...
And the other, you don't want to let that go.
Exactly.
Okay. I want you to go home and think about it.
Okay.
And then practice it and see the panic you'll have for not living the fantasy when you take a few pieces of paper and take it away. Or just move it into a box. And then clean it up a little at a time is reality and is success, not a failure. Because you're not 100% in your imagination.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll talk next week.
Yeah, we got to talk. I need someone to inspect.
Okay. Okay, that's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been good talking with you. We'll see you next week, okay?
Very good, I'll be here.
Okay. Okay, now I'd like to thank Eddie Nieves. Dr. Nieves.
Yes.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, you've been doing my shows for a long time.
Yes, I have.
That was a great role. And you do understand this. You are?
I am the chair of the Department of Academic Enrichment at Kutztown University.
Wow, how about that? And your desk is clear, right? Mine isn't too clear either, but I'm getting there.
Could be better.
Okay, that was a great show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eddie Nieves. Thank you very much. I'd like to also thank my wonderful cameraman, Kaz Beelan of Premier Media. He's done, 468 shows already here. Anyway, I want to thank you for saying hello when I'm bopping around town, and for taking a look at my my YouTube, where you can see these shows under Dr. Jenny Klein, or my website, drjennyklein.com. And you can give me a call if you have any ideas for a good show, or you just want to say hello. It's 908. It's all in the credits, so grab a pencil, 908-722-2933. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for calling and letting me know you like the show. You be real good to yourself and just keep looking through the looking glass.
Dr. Jenny Klein would love to hear from you. Email her, jennyklein@gmail.com, or give her a call at 908-722-2933. If you'd like to see more, feel free, just go to drjennyklein.com.